Jerseys of Hope is a nonprofit committed to inspiring a sense of community and well-being in hospitals through the donation of athletic jerseys to be worn by patients rooting for their favorite team. In the past 7 years, Jerseys of Hope has given out over 2,000 jerseys to lift the spirits of hospital patients. They have impacted the needy in 4 countries and 11 states. Please visit jerseysofhope.org to learn more. We're so honored to partner with Jerseys of Hope and be a small part of the large impact they make.
Welcome to the Unscripted Podcast. My name's Corby LaCroix, and the song you're hearing right now is called Great and Mighty One, available on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your music. But for now, recording from the Unscripted studio, here's your host and my friend, Aaron Conrad.
Great Redeemer, God of grace, come receive our songs of praise.
Welcome back to the Unscripted Podcast from my studios here in Hilliard, Ohio. Hey, this is Aaron. Listen, today we have a very special guest and a very special announcement to make. And so, future guests, we're going to talk about that here in a minute throughout this podcast, but something that's coming up. In the meantime, can you just introduce yourself and we'll go from there?
Absolutely. Yeah. My name's Nan Payne, and I'm one of the founders of Let Love Farm, which is right outside of Plain City, Ohio. We're a nonprofit farm ministry that, we created. It's almost 6 years now that we just have a place that we, God blessed us with, that people can just come and visit and experience God's peace, either through, all of our animals or the beauty of the land. And but specifically today, we're excited because we're going to do our second annual night of worship coming up here soon.
That's right. Our good friends Tori and Shauna will be a part of that. And I was there a year ago with Tori and Shauna at that event, and we learned of you all. So let's get this, and we're going to do this multiple times throughout this episode, but what is the link to your website?
So they can go to letlovefarm.org. Or they can join us or follow us on Facebook or Instagram. And those are going to be probably the most up-to-date because we are all volunteer run and our website is also volunteer run. And so it's a little behind. But otherwise, just those avenues, or we do some email blasts periodically throughout the year to people that have visited before.
And so I was there a year ago at the worship night with our friends Tori and Shauna. They're going to do that again. We'll talk about that throughout this episode. But what led you to start this ministry? Like, what can you just tell your story and how this all happened?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I used to, there are 6 of us, as I said, my husband, my stepdad, and my mom, and then my 2 best friends. And we often, after Sunday church, we would sit and have Sunday dinners together. And really, we would just share what God has been putting on our hearts and ways that we wanted to maybe help people. And my stepdad very clearly has had a connection with God's creation and, just the land, and has always wanted to maybe help people in that way because people find peace in a lot of ways out in God's creation. And my friend specifically has had a lot of addiction in her family. And through the woolen process and other aspects of our barnyard animals, she had always almost kind of wanted to start a heroin help house, but then with this farm, she turned from that just to find a way to have people visit and help them through grieving or brokenness or things like that. And for myself, my husband and I, having never had any children, when I lost both of our dogs within 2 months of each other, periodically, and some other things and family members, we just felt burdened to help people, including ourselves, with grieving or brokenness. And I think it was Andrea that said one dinner, hey, you guys, we should just buy a farm and try to put all these things together and help people and try to, bless them and point them to the Lord as God has blessed us. And so we started looking for farms, and God, by no coincidence, I think put it on my neighbor's heart. And after sharing that kind of quick 5-minute thing with her, she texted me like an hour later and said, I have no idea why I'm texting you this, but I think you're supposed to have the farm across the street, which is from where we live. And I don't mean have, but it was not available. It had been in their family for over 75 years. So anyway, long story short, we purchased the farm, and we're going on 6 years now in doing this. And just trying to kind of build a bridge, helping people through of grief and brokenness, and offering a place that they can come and just visit. And we've now reached out into the community with things like this night of worship that also, I pray, helps people. But most importantly, in addition to the farm and everything, is to share the gospel and to get God's word out. And we try to do that either between every visit that someone comes or every event that we do.
And so if they go to letlovefarm.org, they can reach out to you guys. And I love everything you said, because I think I've probably fallen in every category of that, or I know someone who has fallen in every category of everything you just talked about. I know writers, Tori and Shauna, write music. I have friends that are authors. I have friends that just need to get away for a minute. I have friends that need a pause. So if I go to your website and I fill out that form, what can I expect when I arrive? Like, how does that process work?
Yeah, so because we're zoned agriculture, and we're seeking peace, we are not a park where someone can come at will. And so we're always by appointment only. But what that means is simply that you just either email us, or my number's on our brochure and our cards. You just text or contact us, and we'll set up a time to make that happen. And so from a liability standpoint, we just need to know who's there and when. Usually the first time people come out, we like to give them a small little tour to give them the lay of the land, kind of the ins and outs. For instance, when someone visits, we always need supervision with the animals and things like that. But once someone visits, we don't have to be holding their hand per se and walking them around. Like if you just wanted to come, like you said, and just get away, and maybe you've already visited, you just say, Nan, how about next Tuesday at 12? And we just check the schedule. And as long as we have nothing going on there, which, we try to always make time available, and then you come on out and you can take your time there on your own. So
is there a space where, like we said, someone can go and write the next chapter of their book? They can just sit in nature or listen to what God has for them that day. Is there space for that?
Absolutely. We are on 26 acres. In the back part of that, so the barns are at the front with where the animals are, but in the back we have a half-acre pond, and we have a new barn that was just completed construction this past summer. And we have a huge porch overlooking the pond on that barn, with a swing, a glider, and chairs. We have 2 to 3 miles of walking trails, and all through those trails there are benches that people have sponsored in memory of loved ones that people come and sit on often. We actually have trees that people have sponsored in memory of loved ones as well, that there's benches maybe near those trees. Lots of opportunity for that. There, like I said, we have the new barn that gives access to that as well. We have a dock at the pond that I've had a lot of people come out and just want to do lunch on the dock with, their kids, or, just their Bible study or whatever it may be. So lots of opportunity and space in the back for that.
How do you fund it? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah. So as I said, we're a nonprofit farm ministry. And so obviously we're run completely by donations. But being frank, with nonprofits, you go into it expecting that your revenues aren't going to match your expenses. But we just have felt blessed with what God has given us. And, we're just committed to, no matter what, to, making it work. But we are totally funded by donations and things that we do. And we hope to be fully that way one day. And we're also fully run by volunteers with and we consider ourselves obviously volunteers to this nonprofit. In other words, everybody's just working together as a team and as a family, caring for the animals or caring for the land, whatever it may be.
Just as an idea, what's an expense like that? Just for example, feeding the animals, that has to be a tremendous expense.
Yeah. In fact, we figured that out, I think, at the end of last year, that it takes us per month this is on average with all the vet bills and the feeding and, even electricity, like for one animal, it's about $75 a month. And we have 18 different animals. But, that's just the average. And, for instance, one of our minis just 3 weeks ago had a little incident, and she spent a little over a week at the Ohio State large animal vet clinic there's 2 minis. The other one went as a companion. And that was a new experience for us. I'd never experienced that. And it is not cheap, but we truly try not to look at the finances, because we just totally believe that God's going to, make it work if we just stay fully committed in helping him. And, I don't know, this is what we feel. Most of us are retired, all except 2 of us. And we just feel like this is a calling, and we're going to do whatever we can to care for the animals, to help people come in, to care for people, and like I said, just to give back and to bless others with what we feel God's blessed us with.
So what animals will they interact with when they're there?
Oh yeah, so we have 2 alpacas. We have 2 big horses. We have a donkey. Right now we have 2 full-grown sheep and 2 lambs. And we have 2 baby goats and 2 full-size goats. And then we have 3 other pygmy type goats. And then we have 2 mini horses as well. So, and 3 barn cats.
Wow.
So.
Well, a lot of people we love to go to the ocean. I love to go to the ocean. And when I'm in the ocean or at the ocean, I just stand on the shore and I'm often reminded, like, what do I know of holy?
Yeah.
But a lot of us can't go to the ocean, but we can go to some place like, what you all have provided and see God's creation. You just mentioned so many animals, and they're all so vastly different, right? Like just for a minute looking at these animals and thinking, what do I know of holy? God created nature. He created each one of these animals different. I have a feeling I'd walk away from being at your place like I would walk away from the ocean, just in awe of what God can do and what God does and what he has created. So that's what I want to encourage people. Can we talk about the worship night that's coming up?
Absolutely. We're so excited about that.
Well, all right. So Tori and Shauna, friends of the show, if you've been listening to the show for any time, Tori and Shauna, they have been all over this podcast, but what can they expect when they show up to the event? Yeah,
so we're going to we have a couple different things that we're going to be doing prior to and then during an intermission, just to I guess, let people learn a little bit more about the farm and different things that we have. Without taking away from worship, because truly the genuine worship that Tori and Shauna, have and how it just pours out of their hearts, we don't want to take away from that. But we also want to teach people a little bit about the farm and what they can expect. So we're going to try a couple different things this year. But for me, the biggest thing that we want people to take away, because the event is free. Most of our events are, and they're free, but, a suggested donation if people choose in their hearts or feel led. We truly, like I said, we have this farm, but our vision at the farm, our mission is to share Christ's love by caring for people and animals, but our vision is that all would know him. So truly, Tori's going to share the gospel for us at some point, and just worship and come to the throne of grace with God our Father and Jesus through Tori and Shauna. And truly, that's what I want people to hear the most. I want them to hear their music. Like I said, it's so powerful in the way they worship. And if someone, just is feeling like they just need to just, like you're saying, let go at the farm, well, they can truly do that and just be led to the throne of grace in the worship. And so ultimately, it's about worship, but we do want to be able to get out some aspects of the farm. So,
I love it. And we learned about the farm a year ago when we were there with our friends Tori and Shauna. They put on an amazing event. We were blown away by hearing the story of what you all do as well. So, where is it and when is it?
So it's going to be November the 9th. It's a Saturday. Time is going to be 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And it's going to be at Toll's Technical and Career Center out on Route 42, which is Plain City.
And you said you have some new stuff this year. Can you reveal that, or we got to hold it? We got to hold that back.
Oh no! I mean, there's just different things that we want to do. I'll share just a funny kind of thing with you. So, I love going to concerts myself, and whether it's World Vision or Compassion International, they do that at intermission. We're actually going to, and it's funny you said like about the animals and how you care for them. We're going to provide a way that just for $25 a month, for instance, people can sponsor one of our animals, and we'll hand them a little card, and they can, if they choose to sponsor them, and then we'll have a sign up in the barn, and we'll put their name up and kind of put that out there, like that, just to simulate kind of a concert. So we're going to have some animal sponsorship opportunities.
I love it.
One thing I don't think that we've shared before, but we've been doing it for 5 years now, is we have a fund called the Chelsea Memorial Fund, which was actually one of my first dogs, well back in 2004, that passed away. And I always wanted to start the Chelsea Memorial Fund but never got around to it. And now I know why, because it was supposed to be here at the farm. But what that fund is it's an opportunity for us to work through local vets. And we donate actually money out twice a year to local vets, and for people that cannot afford either medicine, surgeries, or procedures for their companion animals, this money kind of goes and helps fund that. And I'm excited to say, and since we've begun this fund, in 19, we've donated out about $4,000 to local vets to help through the farm. So that's been. So that's going to be a table that, and it's not something that we, how do you get all this stuff out? That'll kind of share a little bit about that. But we're also doing a silent auction this year at the concert. So we'll have some items available for silent auction, and then hoping to do a couple video testimonies, because like I said, we don't want to really take the time up, but we do have events every year that we do. Like we just finished in September our 3rd annual Widows Retreat, which is a free for anyone that's a widow. And we have a speaker come in. Actually, Shauna came down and did the worship for us and give them lunch and gifts. So we're going to have like a video testimony from one of the widows that attended that. And then someone that sponsors the bench and who comes every year on their daughter that had passed away. She comes every year on her birthday and they have a little picnic on her bench. So we're going to have a couple of video testimonies. Otherwise, we didn't do any of that last year, but yeah, other than that, I think it's just going to be, like I said, about worship. But we're going to try to do it in a way where we don't take away from any of that, but that we can get the word out to truly what all that we have and do. So.
Well, I love it. Okay, so I have so many questions. All right, so what kind of animal could I adopt? I know when we go to, like you said, when I go to a concert, it's World Vision, Mercy Me does their thing. And I know, we get that little card. What kind of an animal can I adopt? And if I can't afford $25 a month, can we partner together with someone else, and can 2 people adopt an animal, and what kind of animal could they adopt?
Oh, absolutely. So it's going to be all 18 of our animals, and we're going to hopefully, have the cards like you said at concerts, and we'll have a little that they can fill their contact information out so we can put them up on the board. They get to keep the picture of the animal, and obviously their name and some little information about that animal. And then they'll know that they helped, that month a little bit. As you know, $25, I said, it isn't what it is, but every little bit will help. But if anything too, it's just a fun way that people can actually take this card home and kind of relate. And then when they come back out, they can, let me see how, Moses and Aaron are doing alpacas. I sponsored Aaron, so.
That's right. Well, I was just going to ask you that. So what are some of the names? Just so, it's almost like naming your boat, what are the names of some of the animals they could adopt?
Yeah, so our alpacas are Moses and Aaron, they're brothers. Our full-grown sheep are Mordecai and Nehemiah. The 2 baby sheep are Hannah and Faith. And then, let's see, our 2 little lambs are Esther and Grace. And, our donkey's Mandy. And our mini horses are Serenity and Patience. And then we have 2 big goats that are Patsy and Regina. And Benaniah is one of our cats, Waldo, and Jacob. So
if I'm gonna get off this and talk to my wife about adopting a pet, because seriously, we need another one. But it's not like I got to take care of it. So $25 a month. That
sponsorship is just right there, that one time only. When you do at the concert, it's it's forever, or whatever.
Right.
This is just, hey, if you want to help one time, 1 month, this is what here it is. So.
Okay, so Heather and I could donate $25 and adopt Grace. Is it a sheep?
Yeah. No, Grace is the little lamb.
Lamb, okay.
And we're going to have a board up, and we would, for whatever month, we'll put your names up there under Grace. So, yeah.
Okay, so Heather and I could adopt Grace for November.
Sure.
But someone else could adopt Grace for December.
Yes.
Shout out Grace. Seriously. Or Aaron. I should adopt Aaron. That's the one I should adopt.
Yeah. Right. It's and if 7 people want to help in November, it's just going to be spread out, over time, so if they feel connected. So we're just going to try our best to simulate the fun you have at a concert, but actually just helping and benefiting as well. So.
I love it so much. Seriously. All right. Heather and I'm committing to now. Heather and I are going to adopt at least one. It's probably gonna be Grace because I love that name, but it should probably be Aaron. Maybe it's going to be Grace in November and Aaron in December. Okay. So I love that. I love that. It's so much. Can they do all that through letlovefarm.org?
So this is something that we just thought about for this event. So, and as I told you, our website is volunteer run. So it's hard to kind of continue and catch up. So we're hoping that it can just be kind of given at the concert because, as you know, I am not very high tech and it's hard to keep up. So one day I hope all of this is available on our website, but as of right now, it is not. You can donate on our website, but these things that I'm talking about right now are just going to be at the concert or in person, like if you visit,
Okay, well, I want to take care of y'all. So if someone wants to reach out to me, Aaron at aaronconrad.com, you can text me 614-684-8025. We'll figure out the details. I'll connect you all because we gotta adopt these pets and take care of it. So last question I had for you is if someone wants to come out and spend more than a few hours, can they spend the night?
No, we unfortunately don't have anyone able to do that right now. And here's why, again, because we're zoned agriculture.
Yeah.
And so we want to be there to create a place. And we are not, per se, for lack of a better term, we're not an event center or a B&B,
Okay.
So we're just a place, that people can come and just spend, like you were saying earlier, just spend some time, and whether it's the day or whatever. But one of the reasons we track and keep track too, not only from a liability standpoint, is, if we're wanting to create this space of peace, it would kind of defeat the purpose if we had tons of people out there at one time. So we just try to monitor it as best we can. And that's why we say we're by appointment only. So.
Okay. I love it. And I want to just be very clear for everybody listening. So if you're a pastor, anyone really, you need a minute to get away. This is a great opportunity. It's a great space just outside of Columbus to just go and just be in the presence of God, and I love so much that you all have created holy ground, so to speak, for people to just take off their shoes and be there and be in the presence of God. It may not be the ocean, that's an 8-hour drive. For anyone in Columbus, this is a, half hour, 45-minute drive to just be in the presence of God. And thank you so much for what you guys do. Thank you for creating this space.
Well, praise the Lord. Like I said, it's truly all to bring God glory. And, we just feel so blessed and want to, through the Lord, want to bless others and pray that we are not seen, but that everything about him is. So
I love it. Okay. Let's go through everything again. The worship night again, when and where?
November the 9th, Saturday, 6:30 to 8:30. At Toll's Technical and Career Center on Route 42 in Plain City.
And that is with our good friends, Tori and Shauna. Find them on Spotify, Apple, wherever you find your music, Pandora. Look up Tori and Shauna. Incredible. I promise you, I've been there. I have been with my friends many times. They will rock your socks off with their worship. It'll leave you just in tears. I'll be there. Heather and I will be there, assuming that nothing else comes up. Heather and I will be there as well to just support our friends, both you and them. They can put on a worship night. They really can. And so when they go to the best place to find you on Facebook and Instagram?
Facebook, Instagram, or our website. But one thing I do want to say is that even the event is free, but tickets must be reserved because we have limited seating.
And where can they do that?
They can email me, text me, call me, whatever it may be, and we will have actual tickets that we will have in their name either that night, almost like a will call, just so we know that they're saved and reserved, or they can pick them up. They can come to the farm. They can, like I said, just somehow get a hold of me. But tickets must be reserved because we have limited seating. But on that ticket, we're going to ask for name and contact information. Also during the intermission, we're going to be giving away some giveaways. So based on,
awesome. Okay. And I'm sorry, I did not ask you this. If someone comes out to the farm, is there a cost for that?
No. Like I said, everything that we pretty much do is free for the most part. I honestly don't think of anything that we do that costs right now, but yeah.
Well, that's all the more reason to donate. I mean, at the end of the day, like seriously, like you all are maintaining this farm, taking care of these animals, putting on this night. Last year there was food there. Like the least we can do is support you. So please donate. LetLoveFarm.org, and your phone number and email are also on the website. Is that correct?
Yes. And I can share it now. It's fine.
Yeah, let's do that because I want people to reserve spots for the worship night.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, my name is Nan, Nan Payne, Payne, Nan Payne at letlovefarm.org.
And that's NPAYNE.
Yes.
At letlovefarm.org. Okay, so that's how they would. That's the only two ways to reserve tickets for that night.
The best would probably be to text me via text or call. And like I said, if somebody can't visit the farm and come physically pick them up, we'll just kind of have them there at what we'll call a will call.
And I'll go ahead and throw mine out too. Aaron at aaronconrad.com. Text me at 614-684-8025. If you're in Columbus, be there for our friends Tori and Shauna and our friends at Let Love Farm. And let's get behind this mission. And Heather and I are absolutely going to adopt Aaron and possibly Grace for at least 1 month each and possibly more. But I can't write checks that my wife won't cash. I got to talk to her after this, but no, we're going to adopt those, and I can't wait to come out and meet those two animals in person.
Yeah, can't either. And I'll look forward to seeing you on Saturday, and I'll hold 2 tickets for you if you want.
There you go. That sounds great. All right. And so reserve your tickets, let her know, no charge, get out to the farm, meet the animals. Let's sponsor those animals. And thank you so much for being on today.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right. I look forward to it, and we will see you November 9th.
Okay. Sounds good. All right.
Thank you, my friend.
Yep. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Unscripted Podcast with your host, Aaron Conrad, from his studio in Old Hilliard. Make sure to like, share, follow, and review on your favorite podcast platforms. Also, make sure to check out my song Great and Mighty One on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you find your music. We'll see you next time on Unscripted with Aaron Conrad.